If you walk with purpose, you'll collide with destiny. When I was 15 or 16 years old, as I was wandering through the hallways, either late to class or just skipping class altogether, an assistant principal at my high school used to say those words to me. And I never fully understood what they meant. See, I was a restless teen. And that's just a fancy way to say I was a knucklehead. I didn't think school had a purpose. I thought school was a place to socialize, to play sports, to have fun. And it was just something that I was supposed to do. And unlike others who were wandering the halls, I didn't struggle academically. I didn't get into trouble. I didn't cause problems. In fact, I was seen as a leader at the school because I had the system figured out. I could tell you the exact number of questions on every exam that I needed to get right in order to pass. I could tell you the precise number of days that I could miss in one semester and still be eligible to graduate. I also knew which teachers I could charm and which ones didn't fall for the jokes and the smiles. See, I had a focus, and that was to graduate from high school, to hold that diploma in my hand. And I knew the plan, and I had a way to do that. I knew how to accomplish that goal. But purpose, that wasn't something I was thinking about. And see, this is where I think a lot of us find ourselves, not only in school, but also in life. We treat life like a map, with these destination points plotted out all along the way. Graduate high school at 18, graduate college at 22, get a job, start a family, buy a house. We move through these destination points like directions on a map. Take this road, merge here, exit there, turn left, turn right, you have arrived. But what if, instead of a map, we used a compass? See, a map will give you destination points plotted out along a path. But a compass just shows you what direction you're moving in. A compass doesn't give you turn-by-turn instructions. It simply says, that way is north, and that way is east. So when you live guided by a compass, or guided by purpose, you start to realize that you don't have to focus on those individual destination points. You can stop competing with your peers toward these made-up goals. You can stop comparing yourself to others, and you can stop worrying about what you're supposed to do. And you can start to move in a direction that's more authentically true for yourself. And whether that takes you 10 years longer than somebody else, whether it adds unexpected stops or discoveries along your journey, if you walk with purpose, you're never lost, you're never late, you never miss a turn, and you're never falling short of those mile markers. See, when you live a purpose-driven life, you're able to understand that you can build in flexibility into your route and variety. And so when those unexpected hazards come up, you can move around them, and as long as you're still moving towards your purpose, you're still making progress. And whether or not you touch any one of those destination points, you really don't care. But if you only focus on those destination points, then failure and detours can sometimes break you. Let's say you wanted to be a doctor since you were 12 years old and you figured out the route and you figured out the plan. Graduate from high school, graduate from college, pass your MCAT, get into medical school, complete residency, and then start practicing as a medical doctor. But what happens if along the way something goes wrong and you don't get into medical school? You might feel like your life has less value. You might feel like a failure. Others might consider you a disappointment. So what if, instead of the focus on the destination of being a doctor, you move towards your purpose of helping others? Because then you can satisfy that calling as a teacher, or a nurse, or a social worker, or a poet, or an engineer. See, living a purpose-driven life allows you to understand that those unexpected stops and detours add texture and depth to your journey. Because your purpose is broader than your job title. It's more meaningful than the words that are written on the business card. A purpose-driven life allows you to understand that you can maximize your talents, skills, and passions and move in a direction that is more meaningful to you. And as you have that self-awareness, you're also able to collaborate with others more intentionally. because you can find other people that have similar purpose, and then you can leverage those complementary skills, passions, and talents and work together. Think about a band or a sports team. It's a collection of individuals, all with different skills and talents. They're all playing different positions or different instruments, but they're working together toward a common goal. And having that common shared purpose allows you to democratize the individual strengths of everybody. And that way, every position, every person, every instrument matters. When you focus on timelines alone, or only maps, or only checklists, things can go sideways. Because focusing on goals without purpose might lead us to take shortcuts or do something that compromises our values. If I believe that the only true marker of success is that if I achieve a certain title, or that I get through this checklist of items in a certain time frame, then how I achieve that title or how I complete those items is not as important as getting to that destination point. And even if you reach those destination points, even if you go through those checklists and you check everything off, if you're going to those goals without purpose, sometimes it feels like this never-ending loop of things that you just have to complete. And you're completing all those things, and there's still this sustained emptiness inside of you. So you can complete all the things that you're supposed to do. You can walk on the plan, you can follow the path, you can follow the map, and still not end up where you're meant to be. And here's the hard part. Knowing your purpose isn't easy. Philosophers, spiritual leaders, first-year college students after their first chemistry exam, they all struggle with this same question. Why am I here? And it's a big question, and it takes deep thinking. It takes introspection, it takes time, it takes failure, it takes life experiences. Because your purpose is bigger than what you're good at. Your purpose includes your values, your why, your worldview. It's what wakes you up in the morning and what keeps you up at night. Your purpose is the legacy that you want to leave behind tomorrow, and it's what brings you joy every day. If you take all those things together and mix them up, you'll start to form your compass. And then, if you ever find yourself wandering the halls of life, unsure if you're headed in the right direction, unsure of your path, unsure of your timing, you can remember this. If you walk with purpose, you'll collide with destiny. Not because you arrived before everyone else, not because you never got lost, but because you moved in the right direction. Authentically, purposely, and you didn't need a map to tell you who to be. Thank you.